Coming up on MHS1.
The rivalry with Boyd is back.
We visit a McKinney homeowner passionate for one of the presidential candidates.
And we invade the home of some newlywed teachers.
And that's all coming up on MHS1.
Good morning, McKinney High School. Today is Friday, November 4th. I'm Alec Delgado.
And I'm Devin Field, and you're watching MHS1. After almost 2 years of campaigning, we will finally have the answer of who will be the 45th president next week. Nick Limbo, Andrew Watson, and Marissa Troiani had the story on Tuesday's election.
When it comes to the 2016 presidential election, opinions of Americans vary greatly. But if there's one thing we seem to agree on, it's that it's been an event like no other.
I think there's definitely a sense of lack of trust between the people and the people in politics. So that's definitely an issue between young voters and people alike.
On Monday, a group of eligible seniors took a field trip to vote, proving their willingness to get involved.
Oh, this election started off as people joked about this exact situation. People were saying, what are you going to do if it's Trump and Hillary? It's Trump and Hillary. And the last election was taken seriously. This one, what are we going to do after they're elected? I'm thinking after this one, it's going to go one of two ways. People are either going to say, hey, let this happen again, or people are going to say, hey, this can happen, so I'm going to run now, being the crazy left or right-wing person that I am.
Whatever the outcome, some would rather stress their faith in people rather than politicians.
As polarizing as this election is, and as childish as it seems our candidates can be, we don't have to take that same attitude as voters and as citizenry. We can use this as an opportunity to actually become closer as an American people and recognize that we don't have to treat each other the same way that our candidates are treating each other. And we can hopefully show that we care more about one another than our candidates seem to care about us.
This has been Marissa Troiani, Alec Delgado, Andrew Watson, and Nick Limbo, reporting for MHS1.
Donald Trump has inspired one house to take part in his campaign. Sam Polinsky, Angela Sinacor, and Garrett Reynolds bring us a story from downtown McKinney.
A downtown McKinney homeowner has had her property vandalized for her political views.
February 26th, my cousin and I went to the Fort Worth rally for Mr. Trump, and I purchased 2 flags and several campaign signs. A week and a half later, I come out and they're gone. So then my boyfriend installed a flagpole, and he put my Texas flag, my national flag, and the Trump flag on the pole. 3.5 weeks later, I come out, the national flag and the Texas flag is on the ground, the Trump flag is gone, my campaign signs are gone, my flower bed, all my bushes and my flowers were pulled up out of the ground and tore up, all my landscaping lights were broken, all of them. My statue that my husband got when he turned, the day he was born, they broke his neck, broke that. And then they broke that windmill, the part that goes around, so they broke it. Then they shot out my bedroom window, which is still there, and they shot out my living room window 3 times, but it's still there. Then I got mad.
This vandalism has obviously not discouraged her from supporting her favored candidate.
The fight was on. And every time they do something, you will see that I add something else. Never have I done this. Do I put campaign signs out in the yard? Absolutely. Do I stuff envelopes, go door to door, hey, we vote, can you tell, stuff? Absolutely. This, no, never have. The only reason why I did this is because they bullied me. I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies in school. Never did. When I was growing up and I would see somebody being bullied, I was the first person over there to tell them to back off. I don't care which side of the bridge you're on. Do the right thing. I'm pro-America.
This has been Sam Polinsky, Angela Sinacor, and Garrett Reynolds reporting for MHS1.
I'm not much of a singer, so luckily I didn't have to perform at the choir annual fall concert.
Kylie Tauber and Riley Mulligan were there with the people who can really sing.
Choir students take into account more than just singing when performing in concerts.
The fall concert gives everyone an early goal to start your progression to become the best ensemble that you can be by the end of the year. Of course, we have UIL contest in the spring, and in the back of our heads, that's one of the things we're working for. We did a lot of music on our fall concert that's in the language of Latin. We did Latin, even though nobody speaks it anymore. It's, you know, a dead language, but it's used all the time, and it's prolific in the choral world. We also this year we put a song from Pirates of Penzance on with the varsity choir so that we could expose our audience to our upcoming musical. And this year, this is a first for us to have student directors like Morgan and another student, Bailey Melvin. And so that's been really great for those two young ladies.
Ms. J and Mr. Vood, from the past couple years of me being in Harmony, they knew that I had an interest in going into music education. So I had a friend in theater, and she suggested to me that I could ask them if I could do it. And before I could even get to ask them, they asked me if I wanted to be a part of Chamber Singers as their student director.
But if they take advantage of everything that's here, they are well equipped. The region audition process gets them ready. Solo contest gets them ready for auditioning for scholarships. They're definitely, if they are vested in here, which you have to be, and when you go into music, because it's not just a career and a job, it's a calling. That's how we see it, because it doesn't ever leave you. It's just always there.
This has been Riley Mulligan and Kylie Tauber reporting for MHS1.
When you wear short shorts to school, you get dress coded. When you get dress coded, you get sent to ISS. When you get sent to ISS, you get sad. When you get sad, you start a bad binge eating disorder. When you start a bad binge eating disorder, you stop fitting into your clothes. When you stop fitting into your clothes, you get mad. When you get mad, you bash in your window. When you bash in your window, your mom gets mad, and she ends up kicking you out of the house. When your mom ends up kicking you out of the house, you find yourself sleeping on a slide at a playground. Don't end up sleeping on a slide at a playground. Don't get dress coded.
Now here's Johnny with sports.
Thanks, Devin. The Lions football team is competing in the Crosstown Showdown this Friday at home. Here's Devin Field and Allison Duran with more.
In 2006, the McKinney Lions defeated the McKinney-Boyd Broncos in their Crosstown Showdown. It's now been 10 years since that victory. Moving back up to 6A, the McKinney Lions have another chance to redeem themselves.
Anytime you go into a game against a team that's across town, you know, records kind of go out the window. What everybody's done previously that year goes out the window because, you know, everybody's going to be playing their best in that game. So we've got a group of guys that are going to compete hard and perform well.
Damon Whitmer, starting quarterback, and defensive player Jackson Hill have been preparing themselves for this game.
It's good to get back into the swing of things against Wiley, and we're just going to come out and fight hard against Boyd.
Just going over our responsibilities and making sure we have everything perfect, just to come out with our best game.
This game is big as it is the last game of the season as well as senior night for the Lions.
All the juniors and underclassmen on the team always just talk about playing for the seniors and giving their all because this is their last ride, and we want to send them off in a good way.
We talk a lot about the history behind the crosstown rivals, and we don't like how the disrespect and all that, so we want to go out there and show them who we are and beat them, hopefully.
This has been Devin Fields and Allison Duran reporting for MHS1.
Emotions ran high at the district cross-country meet as one runner advanced to regionals. Here's Devin Field and Allison Duran with more.
The cross-country team recently competed in their district meet. The guys' team took 6th overall while the girls came in 7th. Eric McLean was the only team member to advance to regionals, coming in 9th place overall.
Oh yeah, going into the race, I felt pretty confident. You know, I was in 15th at first, but I worked my way up and I got 9th, so I'm really happy about that. Well, you know, it's really about pushing yourself to your limits, you know. When I go out there, I run the hardest race I possibly can, and that's my goal.
Heavy rains the morning of made an extremely muddy and challenging track.
The mud was disgusting. They had a big puddle over there and I totally stepped in it and it sticks and it's gross, but that's what cross country is, so that's what we signed up for, but it's still gross.
Seniors Mackenzie and Bethany had an emotional final meet.
It was bittersweet being able to run with the people I've ran with since freshman year because all of our varsity team are seniors. And so it was a good experience to get to run with them, but it's really sad, but we still have track season, so it'll be good.
Just really sad, and I don't know, it was great though, because like I had a blast, and honestly it made me want to cry, but I kept it in.
At the regional meet this past weekend, Eric took 83rd out of 188 runners. This has been Allison Duran and Devin Field reporting for MHS1.
The Lionettes basketball team have their season opener at 5:45 in Frisco against Frisco Liberty. Now back to y'all.
During the month of November, creative writing students partake in writing a novel for National Novel Writing Month. Alex Moltz has more on these students' big project.
Getting published is every writer's dream, and this month, creative writing students could do just that.
Our project for November in creative writing is called National Novel Writing Month, which is a nationwide campaign to encourage writers of all different backgrounds, histories, experiences to tackle on the challenge of writing a novel in 30 days. And there's a subsect of that called the Young Writers Program, in which kids get to, from elementary school all the way through high school, they get to set their own word count up to 50,000 words, and they spend the entire month of November drafting their novel. And if they meet their word count goal, then they can get a free copy of their book, and they can also upload it to Amazon to be self-published.
Well, we're still in the planning stage right now, but I've already planned out some characters, and I already have an idea of what's going to happen generally, like the plot and the events and stuff. So it's really interesting because we're kind of being challenged to do something we never thought we really could do. Like a lot of us are I think a lot of us are intimidated, but we're also really excited.
So this is our third year doing it in creative writing, and it's interesting to see which students really latch onto it. So the first year, a student named Jessica Unstead, she was able to write her complete manuscript in November, and she'd actually been planning it for quite a while. And she's the one student I've had who's taken it all the way through the process, and you can actually find her book on Amazon. And so she has a physical copy of that book, and she gave one to me as well, which is cool. It's on my bookshelf along with, all different other types of published work. And she used a pen name, but this is something that you can search for on Amazon. It's got the ISBN number and everything, so it is very officially published. It's really exciting to sit in a room and watch kids tackle on one of the most difficult writing challenges that there is, and for the most part they do it without fear, and that's really cool. I love that it's immediately differentiated for all different kinds of writers because they get to choose what they write about, what their story is, and no two students have ever written anything close to the same book.
This has been Alexander Moltz reporting for MHS1.
Two teachers are out of school and now have a home of their own.
Riley Mulligan, Chelsea Villarreal, Alia Maria, and Johnny Miller are here with the home invasion.
Hi! Hello, welcome. Come on in.
We are the Chins, and my name is Shelby Chin, and this is my husband, Jason Chin, and we teach at McKinney High School.
I teach chemistry and coach JV2 girls soccer.
And I teach English 1.
I moved here going on 5 years ago.
And I moved in over the summer after we got married. Jason has 2 daughters, so I have 2 stepdaughters. Our oldest is Madison, and she's just turned 14, and then the youngest is Peyton, and she's 11.
We met, the very first time we saw each other was her first year at the Teacher Work Academy Week, and we just spotted each other. I saw her sitting over at one side of the room, and then I think she spotted me down in the hallway as we were going to one of our training sessions, and from there, we really didn't see each other much for that first semester. Later to find out that she was stalking me on Facebook.
I was not stalking him that much on Facebook.
But then we just engaged in a couple of conversations here and there during her first year.
Yeah, right now we're in the middle of just kind of combining our house. Our backyard is a disaster because we're re-landscaping and all of that. We have plans for painting.
She she's changing my house. Just pretty much that's it.
It's not bad though. It's
No,
a
it's
good
not bad.
thing. I mean,
But she came in, she's like, I'm taking over.
I did not say that. I said it just needs a woman's touch.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Follow us on Twitter at Mainstream News. And remember,
If it's news,
and it's at McKinney High School,
it's MHS1.